Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm A Squared Gamer, and we are back today for another day of Crusader Kings 3. As you can see on this screen here, we are currently playing as a different character. Right here. Last time on Crusader Kings 3, our previous character, Gausbert, passed away, and we took over as his youngest son, his second son, Rico, because his eldest son, who was scheduled to take over as the successor, ended up converting from Catholicism to Ashari, and his father, Gausbert, disinherited him for it. So that's what happened last time. And then once Gausbert passed away, we took over as Rico. And we took over the island of Ibiza. Something we've been thinking about for a while now, and we finally took it over. The war was started by Gausbert before he passed away, and then as soon as he passed away, Rico took over the war, won it, which wasn't difficult because the holder only had about 25 soldiers. Now he has 0. So he's not difficult to fight. And then as soon as that war ended, this little island might be next. But as soon as that war ended, we had our bishop here start working on fabricating a claim on Corsica. Because it's independent, doesn't belong to anyone, and even though they have 1,000 soldiers, they only have one ally, which is Dubrovnik, which also has 1,000 soldiers. This has actually gone up from the last time I checked. Oh, they're fighting for this land. Okay, that's actually gone up from the last time I checked. And I'm glad I checked it because I don't really want that. Although I only have 16 months left until I get the claim. So I'll take the claim, but I probably won't act on it anytime soon. Other than that, Rico has been focused on himself. You can see he doesn't have very good stats. These stats are actually better than they were beforehand. His only good stat is prowess, but unless he's fighting him in a war by himself, this isn't really gonna do much. So he went to university. His first official act after taking over as the High Chief of Barcelona was to hold a funeral for his father. After the funeral ended, he then went off to university in the Vatican. He got a few skill points, he got a little better, and his 3-star education trait, skilled tactician, used to be 2 stars, but thanks to the university visit, it went up to 3 stars. And then after that, we got him married. His wife is older than him by a few years, but she's comely, and he's comely, so their children should also be comely, with a chance of becoming pretty or handsome, depending on whether they're a girl or a boy. After he got back from university visit, he decided to go on a pilgrimage. And that's what these yellow lines are. These are the route, the path of his travel. That's the route he's going to take. And the pilgrimage, rather than going back to the Vatican, where he went to for university, and then going back for a pilgrimage. Instead, I decided to go to Santiago, the Church of Santiago, right? Where is it? There's a church in Santiago that's a holy site, so I'm visiting that for my pilgrimage. Other than that, there were also a few minor things that happened. Well, if you want to call it minor. The first thing is that this guy's about to have a mental breakdown because of how much stress he's undergone. Most of this stress if you've ever been to college, you'll know, came from his university time period. University stressed him the hell out. And so now the pilgrimage, part of the reason why we're going on a pilgrimage in the first place, is because he needs to lose some stress. And the pilgrimage will help him de-stress. Another minor thing that happened was after getting married, I was going to romance my wife. However, I decided first to learn her language. This is why I can't romance her. It says there's another scheme against her already. That scheme is a learn language scheme. So I'm trying to learn her language because she does not speak Diolch Vulgar, which is the Catalan language, or Arabic, which is his other language that he knows, or Latin, because he learned Latin at the Vatican while he was at university. Instead, she speaks, if I remember correctly, she speaks the Diolch Vulgar, which is the French language, vulgar language, as opposed to Diolch Vulgar, which is an Iberian vulgar language. But not the Iberian vulgar language, because that is in itself also a language, which I do not know. So the scheme is to learn her language, and then once we can communicate effectively, I will try romancing her in order to make sure that whenever she gets pregnant, that the child is mine. I don't want to have any doubts about it. And if I romance her and she loves me, there's less of a chance that she'll cheat on me. That's just a good life lesson in general, not just for the game. They are both sadistic, so they have that in common. But yeah, that is what is going on, what happened after Rikov took over. A lot of other stuff happened last stream as well, yesterday, but most of that happened during what's his name, Gospert, during Gospert's lifetime. And so if you would like to check out anything that happened, I uploaded all my VODs on YouTube, so you can check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/a_gamer. So youtube.com/@a_gamer. There's the little @ symbol that you need to type in. All of my VODs are uploaded there. Twitch, I'm sure there's an option that I have to choose, but I haven't figured out what option it was. So Twitch deletes my VODs after 14 days. But there's no need to fear because the VODs are all uploaded on YouTube. So you can watch all the previous VODs there, see what's going on. You can also check out my other socials, instagram.com/a2gamer or twitter.com/a2gmr. On Twitter, it's not a2gamer, it's a2gmr. I also have an Instagram. You can check out my streaming setup. I also post whenever I'm going live on my Twitter, my Instagram, or my YouTube. So you can follow me back, and then whenever I go live, you can see. I'll send out a notification. And you'll be able to figure out what's been happening. Keep up to date on the lifetime of the House of March. Right here, her dynasty. The slogan is Adventure Time because the founder was an adventurer. So for today, we're starting out by going on a pilgrimage. There's a really big plague going on here, and we are going to avoid that. Let me see if I hit. What's the quick key for plagues? Control E. There's this huge plague, and we are just barely avoiding it on our voyage, on our journey. Because I think voyage is for when you're going on a ship. So on our journey, we're just avoiding the boils on our way there. And then on our way back, we're getting a little closer than we were on our way there. However, I am assuming that by then, the boils will have wound down. and there will be a smaller area that's suffering from this plague. As you can see, if you look at this huge plague here, if I click on it, it got covered up. You see the outline is much bigger than the actual area of plague. That's because the plague used to, at its greatest extent, cover all of this outline. And it has since started to heal, and it has reduced its area. And that is what I'm hoping happens with the boils by the time my pilgrimage is over. Let me zoom out. Look at what this table looks like. It's interesting. It's a nice design feature. For now, we have 92 gold. I'm not going to spend it on building anything in any of my territories because I never know how much, or not how much. I never know whether I'm going to need to spend money while on my journey. So we'll keep that gold in our pocket for now. Let's let time go by and start our pilgrimage. Oh, what is this? The Iberian struggle. Currently in the compromise. Okay, yeah, I knew all of that, and I think I've seen this pop up before as well. So my mother is my regent now that I'm away from my capital. She's in charge. Looks like it'll take 6 months to arrive. A fresh start. All the while preparing for my journey, I have had this sense of serenity and knowing that everything will be alright. I am pleased to embark on this pilgrimage to Santiago in order to get even closer to God. And now more than ever, I feel certain that He will watch over me on my travels. I can't wait. I added 3 potential pilgrims. Oh, she's getting married to my knight. And oh, there's another marriage. And another marriage. And another marriage. Right before the stream ended, I proposed a bunch of marriages. So this is all the acceptance letters that I'm receiving. Excellent. Excellent. And there I go. Oh, I'm on 5 speed. That's why he's going so quickly. Night by the campfire. Long after night has settled, I find myself laughing, telling stories, and drinking with Guntbert. I didn't know he had it in him, but Guntbert ends up telling a particularly ribald story about 4 peasants he had seen in Barcelona. After drying my eyes from the laughter and drinking a bit to clear my throat, I will tell a story of my own, and he'll like me slightly more. Or with some extra embellishment. Diplomacy and intrigue challenge. Even if they're unimpressed, he'll still gain 2 opinion of me. And if I tell a story of my own, he'll gain 5 opinion of me. So it's only an extra 3 opinion. So I might as well take the risk. But let's see what the last option is. Ask Comfort to tell me another story. I lose 17 stress. And he gains 15 opinion of me. And I grow closer to forming a friendship with him. So this is just all the good stuff from the first options, but with more good stuff added. So I don't know why anyone would choose something else. I mean, unless his personality. No, patient, just sadistic. No, yeah. Doesn't look like he'd do anything else, so tell me another story, Guntbert. And there I go. Ooh, I gained 150 martial lifestyle experience because I hit one of the points of interest on my travel. There are a lot of them. And that was enough to give me a new lifestyle, a new perk. Oh, I have to do this first. This is fine. Traveling through the sometimes harsh environments has invigorating effects on at least my state of mind and vigor. As I glance over at Alessandra, however, she does not appear to be doing quite as good. We've seen this before. We can let her rest and recover. And every patient gains 5 opinion of me. Or ask Gumpert to treat her. Is Gumpert my doctor? He is. Oh, that's good. I'm forming a friendship with my doctor. Or it's just a little cough. And I lose 33 stress because I'm sadistic. So I want her to get pneumonia. Who's Alessandra? She's married to Harold. I guess she's one of the pilgrims? The random pilgrims that joined in? Or no? Or no? Is she part of my court? No, I don't think she's a part of my court. So she's one of the random pilgrims. So I'm not going to let her rest and recover. Because even if she gains 20 opinion on me, it doesn't matter. She's not a member of my court, so that's not going to do anything for me. Even if I have Guntbert treat her, it's still only her gaining opinion of me, so it's just a little cough. I am sadistic, so this is something I would do. And I like role-playing the characters out and selecting options that make at least a little sense in terms of the character's personality and what option they would choose. So we are going with it's just a little cough. 75% chance that she gets pneumonia. And she got pneumonia. But I did lose some stress. And that is what's important. Meanwhile, I can get Never Back Down. Then the next one is Household Guard. And then once we get Household Guard and get 4 extra nights, we'll move over to Overseer. For now, Never Back Down. And there I go. We've seen this one before as well. There's a stick in the wheel breaks, and now I'm blaming her. Who was the one who was in charge? Who's this lady? I think she's also just a random... Yeah, she's a random pilgrim. One of the random pilgrims. I'm sorry, my acquaintance. It was my turn as lookout, and I fell asleep at the reins. I've never called someone my acquaintance. Like, I know you look at your friend and maybe you'll call them, like, buddy or bro. Like, what's up, bro? But I've never looked at a stranger that I've seen once or twice and been like, what's up, my acquaintance? That just sounds awkward. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. God's wounds. We're going to be late, and my journey's delayed by 5 days, but I gain experience in the traveler trait. Or shuffle the supplies around. I'll ride rough from now on. I spend 75 prestige. Still gain the 6 experience, and the journey's only delayed by 2 days. So it'll cost me 75 prestige to get rid of 3 days of delay. That is not worth it at all. Okay, and my spy master discovered that Ursula, this is Ursula, is plotting to kill Adalbert, who's again, he's 63 and his health is poor. So why not just let Father Time take care of it? There's no need for all this. But now the scheme is over. And I visited Navarra, so that gives me experience, and in diplomacy lifestyle and in traveler. Let me look at what my traveler looks like. Okay. And now learn language, pleasant prattle. As we pass through the barony of Irun, a jubilant local approaches my entourage. His smile stretches from ear to ear. I discern that he is offering a warm welcome, but the finer aspects of his speech are sadly lost on me. Be that as it may, I wave away my attentive companions and return his joyful greeting. I can hardly imagine a more excellent chance to practice my Dioio Vulgar, so this is part of the learn language scheme that I have on my wife. So I can gain 20 days of progress, learning challenge, and gain 40 days of progress, plus increase cultural acceptance between French and Catalans. But there's a 46% chance that I fail and lose 20 days of progress. Of course, if I have him join us, which is I think what I've done before in previous learn language schemes, I can have my base success chance increased by 15. However, the reason I did that before is because my success chance was pretty low. But now it's at 92. So we already have this interlocutor joined entourage. I already have that modifier. So unless he's really good, there's no need for me to have him join my court. And it doesn't look like he is. So instead we can have one of the first two options. I feel like the learning challenge would be great, but my learning's only 11, while his is also 11, which is why the success chance is just about a 50-50. However, you know what to do. I've done it before. You just switch your wife from assisting ruler to patronage, which gives you learning +3, and now this becomes a 60% chance. Still not, I don't think it might be good enough still. I mean, the only good thing here is an extra 20 days of progress, which I don't really care about, and cultural acceptance but getting better. Right now it's at 26%. And I think I am willing to risk it just for that extra 2.5% acceptance. So I am feeling rather feisty today. And it was successful. It worked out. I got the acceptance and 40 days of progress. I have an engaging debate with Alphonse. Meanwhile, put my wife back to assist ruler. Flawed fare. Guthfrith is in charge of our food supplies, and sheepishly revealed, he's our caravan master, by the way, and sheepishly revealed that our provisions are all now but useless, having been poorly stored. Patches of mold covered the bread and produce, and we have quickly used up our remaining dried food. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Never eat food with mold on it. You can ask any doctor about it. By the time the mold appears on the top of the food, that means the entire rest of the food has already been infiltrated by the mold. It's only at the end that the mold decides to show up at the top. So never choose it's just a bit of mold. In real life. In the game, do whatever you want. But even in the game, you might gain the trait ill. 40% chance of that. Or because of my learning skill, I can choose nature will provide for us. There's a 2% chance that I die from this. So even if I have a 94% chance of success, I always go by the phrase, if it's not 100%, and if it's not 0%, then it's a 50-50. And so there is no need for me to take this risk of dying. Or I could spend 75 prestige to take food from the locals. But I gain stress because I'm just. And the whole point of this was to lose stress. I do have an idea that if I switch her to patronage again, does it become a 0% chance of dying? No, it stays the same. I really don't want to take the chance to die. And so I would much rather take the chance that I'll get sick. I don't want to spend my prestige or gain stress. So I'll take the chance of getting sick than I will of taking the chance of dying. Even though the chance of getting sick is higher than the chance of dying. So like I mentioned before, not in real life, but in the game, it's just a bit of mold. And of course I'm ill. Time for treatment. The grim smell of bubbling tinctures and mashed salves assaults my senses as I make my way through to my physician's Guntbert's workroom. He looks up from an unction that he is preparing. The time has come, my lord. I know of several ways to treat your cold. While I am fairly certain a simple tincture would suffice, the choice is yours and yours alone, he grimaces. It will not be pleasant. Yeah, so usually you want to choose no more than what is necessary. Especially since he's a renowned physician. Just take a safe treatment. A little brighter. Guntbert told me to undress and then kneel with my buttocks raised. That was awkward enough, but when I saw the instrument in his hands, I almost bolted. He must have noticed because he patted me calmingly on the shoulder and told me to stop clenching. The enema turned out to be just what I needed. For now, the worst of my symptoms are alleviated and the world seems a little brighter. Excellent work, Comfort. I gained reduced disease symptoms for a year, which is a huge health boost. Tears of St. Nicholas. Even when on pilgrimage, the priests still hold mass every Sunday. That's a lot of S's. It is held out in the open when no church is nearby, but early this morning a storm rolled in and has not ceased. Undeterred, a zealous priest is still standing out in the pouring rain, giving a sermon about perseverance in the face of adversity. Despite this, the size of his audience is rapidly dwindling as discouraged adherents seek refuge from the torrential rain. Forget this madness, I'll be in my tent, spends 25 piety, so I'm not doing that. What is a little rain to a faithful Catholic? My pilgrimage becomes more pious, I gain 100 piety, and I lose 11 stress. 9% chance traveling while pneumonia poses dangerous health risks. So, wait, do I have pneumonia? No, I'm just ill. It doesn't really say what the illness is. But I am ill. Standing in the rain for a couple hours when you're sick, probably not a great idea. But this is a pilgrimage, so what is a little rain to a faithful Catholic? And I'm no longer ill. But I am okay, so I gained pneumonia. And I passed by Castile, which was a point of interest. And I passed by the capital of Leon, which is a point of interest. Oh. I forgot to put my wife back on assist. Wait, she is on assist ruler. So why am I under the domain limit? Uh-oh. Learn language scheme successful. After lots of hard work, I finally learned the Dioyo vulgar language. Unless I respect... Okay, we've seen this before. French peasants now respect me a great deal more. And I emulated her accent. I don't know why zealot vassals will gain opinion of me for this, but they will. Or I could try sending her a letter. That's too big of a risk. Even if I try and switch her over to diplomacy to help me out, that's still too big of a risk. So I feel accomplished. I don't need to try and become friends with her because now that I have learned the language, I can try to romance her. Oh, I'm traveling. As soon as we get home from traveling, I will try to romance her. Hopefully I get better soon. Pneumonia. My health is poor. Stress level 2 and pneumonia are not helping. Reduced disease symptoms is only countering penalties, whatever that means. Okay, so my martial went down to 14. And my stewardship is now down to 10, which has reduced my domain limit to +1. I'm not quite understanding why my domain limit went down. She is still an assist ruler, right? Yeah, assist ruler. I don't understand why that happened. We're just gonna have to wait until I get better. Maybe it's the pneumonia. Meanwhile, I have 4 messages unread. My powerful vassals aren't really that good. Barcelona has low county control. Does that mean every other place does not have low county control? No, Girona's at 93. Rossello is at 90. Cerdagna is at 100. And Urgel is at 100. Oh yeah, I don't have low county control anywhere else. By the way, Tarragona, right here, used to be called Tortosa. I just remembered that. It was named after this mosque here. But now it's named after the city instead. This county. County control here is at 5. And over here is at 0. So I guess it's okay to keep my marshal working on control over here. Meanwhile, my regent has furthered my or her mandate, a mandate. I don't know whose mandate it is. Sellsword bolsters ranks for 10 years. So my men-at-arms maintenance is cheaper. So that saves me some money. Now they're only costing me 1.8. And the scales of power swung toward her, and she lost 50 gold. So she's paying it for it. She's paying for it herself. And meanwhile, the scales of power are still pretty low. I usually like to have them in folk offers, but this is fine as well. And we've almost arrived at our pilgrimage. Guntbert, my doctor, is a pilgrim, and then my bodyguard at night, Faran. And then here's me. We'll arrive on the 27th of June, and it is currently the 1st of June. I died. What? Oh no, this is not good. Okay. Okay, this is not good. Not good at all. Completely unexpected. High Chief Rikoff of Barcelona has abandoned his mortal coil at 17 years of age. He died of pneumonia. Dead in the prime of his life, he will always be remembered for his stunning beauty. High Chiefess Sarah ascends to the throne, having mastered many skills. She is sure to be admired by her subjects. Oh my god, this was totally unexpected. I mean, pneumonia. I had a renowned physician, and he was right there on his horse right next to me. And yet I was completely taken out by pneumonia. Oh my goodness. Crusader Kings 3, why do you do these things to me? I had so many plans. How sad a life. Lived so shortly. Died at 17. I played for 2 years. Oh my god, this was going to be such a good life too. Because he was so young, there was so much that I could accomplish. He was the culture head. He was dreaded. His level of fame was distinguished, and his level of devotion was faithful. But, you know, he fought in one war, an offensive one, left to him by his father. And he had 3 activities: a university visit, a funeral, and then the pilgrimage that ended up taking his life. So what more can be said about High Chief Rikoff? Taking over, completely unprepared, as the High Chief of Barcelona, due to his older brother renouncing his faith and being disinherited by their father right before their father's death. So he did not have much of a chance to train for leadership. But leadership was thrusted upon him. And what did he do with it? Well, he finished his father's war and won it. Then held a funeral for his father. Then went to university to study to make up for his lack of knowledge on leadership. He came back from university a changed man. The university was in the Vatican, and after that he became more pious and decided to go on a pilgrimage. However, that would be the last decision he made, because that pilgrimage ended up costing him his life. He became ill. Then his illness degraded into pneumonia, and that was what eventually took his life. Sad for High Chief Rikov, who never really got a chance to accomplish any of the dreams he had, and never even had a chance to live long enough to have lofty dreams for his life. So thus goes the life of High Chief Rikov, served for 2 years and died at the age of 17. Now we will play as High Chieftess Cicera, his half-sister, whose mother passed away many, many years ago, and who will be the first female ruler of the Duchy of Barcelona. So let's continue as High Chieftess Cicera. Now, I inherited this regency, and the priest endorses me because he likes me. And the pilgrimage obviously stopped. And Cicera should be back at court. Yes, she is. Is she married? She is not married. Her child Bernat. Her oldest child is the chief of Ibiza. Okay, she does have an older sister. No, she doesn't have an older sister. She is the elder sister. And she's currently in Ibiza because she just learned of the death of her youngest brother. So now she needs to move over to Barcelona. But before we do, there's a whole bunch of stuff that has to happen at the beginning of every new character. First and foremost, we need to choose a lifestyle. Let me see. Right now, the only thing she's good at, diplomacy or intrigue. I mean, she's average at stewardship as well. Her learning and her martial are poor. She does have 15 prowess, though, because she's Amazonian. Did her children inherit that? Yes, they did. Every one of them. Okay. First, I need a spouse to help me out. My first spouse, Inisian, died. So now I need another spouse. I'm 40, so I don't really need them for traits. I don't even need them to be fertile. What I need is someone with great skills to help me in ruling the land. Napoleon here. It's good. Oh no, wait, hold on. Let's check out everyone else. She's 40. What does Odon look like? These are some really good stats. I think I'll go with Odon instead. Wait, was this my teacher? At university? My youngest brother's university professor, I think is who he is. But by marrying him, I lose legitimacy because he is lowborn. However, I think that is fine for now. If I go down to 326, I'll still be level 2. Yeah, I'll still be level 2. That's fine. I want someone who's lowborn. The last thing I need is another noble coming in and trying to usurp all my power. So we will send this proposal, have that new marriage to hopefully try and help me out and increase my domain limit. But also our console needs to be looked at. So the steward needs to be Chief Berenger. He's our best steward, and he's also a powerful vassal. And he's my uncle, so I will assign him to stewardship. I think the marshal needs to be replaced. Chesney over here has 30 marshal. Meanwhile, Guichard has 26 martial and 15 prowess. What's this? Soaked? Oh, okay. So I will have Chesney here be my marshal. Guichard will lose 20 opinion on me, but that's fine. Lodi would be a good spy master, but only slightly better. Meanwhile, Hemeni is 56 and Elodie is 29, so I can wait until Hemeni passes away before making Elodie my spy master. And then once I get a spouse, I can have them work on that. So that is that. I need a taxpayer. Add Albert is my tax collector. I need to make it so that my sister-in-law here is actually collecting paying the taxes. Oh man, this was a surprise stream here on Wednesday, and it turns out Crusader Kings took that literally, because this was quite the surprise. I'm still reeling from the fact that he was 17. I had so many plans for him. He was so young. There were so many things we could accomplish with his life. Alas. The best laid plans, right? I'm still over here in Ibiza. Am I gonna go over to Barcelona at any point in time? Okay, so my console is all set up. So now I need to choose a lifestyle. Like I said earlier. Should it be intrigue? Whatever lifestyle I choose probably will only get me one perk before I die, because I'm 40 years old. So if that's going to be the case, then I think I'll just go to a learning lifestyle. And try and go down the whole of body tree to get all the health boosts that come from it, especially since I'm a drunkard at the moment. And I remember that our father, he ended up dying by drinking himself to death. However, I don't need to focus on medicine, because I'm still only 40. So for now, I think I can just have a scholarship focus, which gives me +2 more extra to learning, and it helps me with development growth in my holdings. So let's go ahead and go with that. Meanwhile, I think the first thing we'll get isn't actually anatomical studies. I think it'll be scientific, to help me with my studying of the cultural fascinations. Speaking of which, I am the head of the culture, and I am currently focusing. Am I still focusing on mustering grounds? Yes, I am. 7 years. So let's look at our military, make sure that is up and running. I have 4 knights. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, Sonifred doesn't even count. 1, 2, 3. And then we need the successor to the accolade. Right here, 4. My son. My player heir and son. And vassal and knight. So now I'm questioning whether he should be the successor. I think maybe we should make Guillaume the successor here. And not Bernat. Because I don't want my son to pass away. He's my player heir. So even though he's much better, I still wouldn't want him to be in danger during a fight and pass away. Actually, you know what? No, he's just so much better. Oh, he can't even be the successor anymore. So I just messed that up. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave it to Guillaume. Okay, and now that that is all set up, what's left? I think that's it for now. I do see that she is stressed out. Which makes sense. Seeing as how what just happened, her youngest brother passing away like that. So let's look at any messages. I don't think I want to claim on the Holy Roman Empire. What is the Pope thinking over here? They do seem to be being pushed back by Italy. I can negotiate alliances. I can demand payment. Or I have a hook on him. But why can I demand payment for a hook? Are we doing this again? I don't have any perks. Oh, golden obligations. I didn't realize this. I probably should have chosen stewardship focus and selected over avaricious just to get to it. I didn't realize she was focusing on stewardship. But now I have switched it over to learning. So we will stay here for the rest of her life. I wish I would have taken a better look at what she had going on, because then we could have gotten avaricious, and then tax woman, and then we could have changed after that. But what does this do? Oh, it increases her income per stress level. Okay, it increases taxes. Okay. So first, let's negotiate alliances. First, let's get his 1200 on our side. And then, why can I negotiate an alliance with him? Oh, because his sister is my mother. So he is my uncle. Okay. So let's negotiate that alliance. Get his 600 people on my side. And I think that's enough for the alliances. I do not want to claim on the Holy Roman Empire. I will end my regency. I'm faithful. That's the 3rd level. I'm distinguished. That's also the 3rd level. My son is now my regent. So that's good. Okay, I can change his contract because I have a hook on him. I can ask him for high taxes. I have a strong hook on him? Oh, because he's my best friend. Okay, I didn't know that. Then I'm not gonna demand payment from him because he's my best friend. Oh yeah. See, these little icons mean they're friends, but his icon has a halo over it because he's my best friend. This goes all the way back to High Chief Pagan's mess hall. My grandfather. My grandfather held a feast, and that's where we became friends. This is good, though, because he's a powerful vassal, and he has not liked anyone who has been the High Chief of Barcelona up to this point, until now. He's my cousin and best friend. Gregarious, ambitious, and compassionate. Okay, so she likes making friends. And because she has a stewardship focus, and because she has golden obligations, what we can do is have our council have our spy master look for secrets all the way up here in the Agglomerated capital. 6 months. And then we can go back to what we did before of gaining secrets, blackmailing people for those secrets, and then getting some money for it. And then we can use that money to build up our territory. So first and foremost, 16 months left in building up a castle here. I am over the domain limit. So now that we've done all of that, we can finally unpause the game and put it at 3 speed. Unpause, let some time go by. There should be a marriage coming in at some point. Why does the game not let time go on? I understand. Why is time not going on? Pause, unpause. 1 speed, 5 speed, 3 speed. Time is not going on, but the game is not paused. I think this might be a bug, so I'm just going to exit the game and then re-enter the game. Yeah. Okay, looks like we're good now.